You're listening to the VA Claims Authority. I'm Gary, Air Force veteran, VA disability claims strategist, and the guy who got denied, fought back, and won. I'm here to make sure the VA doesn't leave you behind. Whether you're filing your first claim or fighting your fifth appeal, this is your briefing. Let's get into it. Hook. A single bad C&P exam can lose your claim, even when everything else points to service connection. The good news? Most exam problems are identifiable and fixable if you know where to look. Promise. In the next 10 minutes, you'll get 3 things. A red flag checklist to read any C&P report, exact guidance on how to document and cite those flaws, and the precise form and lane strategy to challenge the opinion today. Section 1, Briefing. What a C&P report is and why the examiner's rationale matters. A C&P report has 4 parts: the history the examiner records, the physical or mental exam findings, the examiner's opinion, and the written rationale tying findings to that opinion. The decision hinges on the rationale, not the checkbox. An opinion without explained medical reasoning is legally weak. If the examiner concludes not related but gives no reasoning, that's your first red flag. Here's how to read the pages. Always note the page and paragraph where the examiner summarizes history, where objective findings are recorded, and where the opinion starts. When you later cite the report, you must point to the exact lines that contradict the conclusion, not just say the C&P was wrong. Section 2, the red flag checklist and how to document it. 5 things to watch for with examples you can use right away. Red flag 1, no rationale. Example, the examiner states not related to service, but gives only a conclusion sentence with no medical reasoning. When you find this, copy the exact sentence and note the page and paragraph. That's the simplest rebuttal. Point out the lack of explanation. Red flag 2, findings contradict the opinion. Example, strength documented as 3/5 in the exam, but the examiner writes, no functional loss. If you see that, quote the strength finding and the opinion line by line with page citations. Red flag 3, ignored or missing prior records. If the examiner says no history of X, but your service or private records show it, highlight the records and reference dates, note the examiner's statement, and then list the record page or VA note that contradicts it. Red flag 4, boilerplate language. Phrases like no objective evidence to support claim used across unrelated claims are suspect. If a sentence reads like a template and doesn't engage your specific history, call that out with the exact quote. Red flag 5, timeline errors or factual mistakes. Example, the examiner says symptoms began in 2018 when service treatment records show complaints in 2010. Note both entries with page citations. Timeline mistakes are easy and powerful to rebut. Documenting the problem. Practical steps. First, pull the C&P report from v.gov and save it as a PDF. Second, create a 1-page issue log listing the red flags you found with direct quotes and exact page/paragraph citations. For example, page 4, paragraph 2, no evidence of decreased range of motion, contradicted by exam on page 2 showing ROM 30 degrees. Take screenshots of the report pages and, if you have private records or service treatment records, screenshot those pages too. Save everything with clear file names. CNP_PG4_para2.png and str_2010_pg3.png. This makes attaching and referencing them in a supplemental claim simple. Now the language. How to flag errors without sounding confrontational. Use short, factual statements in VA Form 214138. Example wording you can copy exactly. I have reviewed the C&P exam dated date. On page X, paragraph Y, the examiner states, quote, this contradicts the examiner's own finding on page A, where the exam documents, quote, attached are the cited pages from the C&P and my service/treatment records. I request that the board consider these inconsistencies as part of my supplemental evidence. Section 3. Which lane to use and what evidence actually wins. Decision Rule 1. If you are adding new evidence, a private nexus, new treatment records, or a treating provider statement, file a supplemental claim using VA Form 20995. Decision Rule 2. If you are not adding new evidence and only want a different reviewer to look at the record, choose a higher level review with VA Form 20996. Don't pick HLR if you plan to add a private opinion that will push you into the supplemental lane. When to consider the board. If you've exhausted VA review lanes and you have a compelling legal argument or clear misapplication of law, board review is next. But most flawed C&Ps are fixed earlier with a focused supplemental submission and a good nexus opinion. What evidence wins? A targeted private medical nexus or a treating provider statement that directly addresses the examiner's rationale, line by line. Don't submit a general, this is related, letter. Instead, give your provider a short template. Identify the examiner's exact quote, then in one paragraph explain why the examiner's conclusion is inconsistent with the medical record and why, on the balance of medical probability, the condition is related to service. Sample private opinion structure to give your provider. 1. Cite the C&P page and quoted sentence. 2. State the treating observation or test that contradicts it. And 3. End with a single sentence opinion. It is at least as likely as not, 50% or greater, that the veteran's condition is related to service because brief medical rationale. Attach the C&P pages being rebutted so the reviewer sees the comparison. Action step. Exactly what to do today. Step 1. Log into va.gov and download your C&P report PDF. Step 2. Identify and note 3 red flags using the checklist I just gave, cite page and paragraph. Step 3. Open VA Form 21-4138 and paste this one paragraph template into it, filling the blanks. I have reviewed the C&P exam dated, insert date. On page X paragraph Y, the examiner states, insert exact quote. This statement is contradicted by cite record or C&P page, end quote. Attached are the relevant pages. I request the agency of original jurisdiction consider these inconsistencies and the attached medical evidence as part of my supplemental claim. Step 4. If you have a private opinion or treating statement, attach it. Step 5. File VA Form 20995, supplemental claim, and upload your 21-4138 and attachments. If you have no new evidence and only want a different reviewer, file 20996 instead. But remember, HLR disallows new evidence. Final quick tips before we close. Keep your rebuttal short and evidence-focused. Attach screenshots with clear file names and label each attachment so the reviewer can follow your point in under a minute. You want the reviewer to see the contradiction immediately. CTA. If you want the templates I mentioned, the 21-4138 paragraph, an issue log example, and a one-page provider template, head to vaclaimsauthority.com and download the Bad C&P Rebut Kit. It has fillable PDFs and an example supplemental claim packet you can submit today. Close. That's your briefing. Now go execute. If this episode helped you, share it with a veteran who needs to hear it. And if you need help with your claim, whether it's an audit, a rebuttal, or a full strategy session, head to vaclaimsauthority.com. I've got the tools and the experience to help you win. I'll see you next episode. And remember, your service earned this. Don't let paperwork take it from you. The VA won't tell you this. I will.